by the time I got to the end of January, I was all ready to give up my second job. A lot of people were just sitting on beaches. So for me, I don't like anyone coming through my door that doesn't know exactly what they're having.
What is your sort of secret? So I just did an interview with Savannah from Savvy's Body Sculpt up in Leicester. I've been doing her advertising for over a year now, and we've been working together, and she's been very, very successful. She's been able to take her business from literally part-time, a couple days a week, to now full-time, and she's even hiring. So she's really scaling her business. She's doing an amazing job of keeping and upselling the clients that she's getting for advertising. Hope you enjoy it. Hope if you're an aesthetics clinic or similar that you find some value in this, because we go over a few things that not many people in the industries, both advertising and aesthetics, actually want to address. And also Savannah has some really good points on clinic management and how she's been able to be so successful. So hope you enjoy it. If you're interested in doing some advertising for your business, just drop me a message.
I wanted to like just close down the business. So the reason that I brought her on was to basically be there if I need her to be there, but also to give me time off. Because like last year when we was running the ads,
Mhm.
it was much trying to do admin as well as working. So it's kind of good that I can have her for at least 10 hours a week while I get on with admin in that time.
Oh. So is she learning to do all the treatments as well, or is she just doing sort of the admin sort of things like
No,
call?
no. So she's mostly here for the treatment, but obviously if I can't fill her gaps, then yeah, she's expected to do like admin and everything like that, basically.
Nice, nice. So it sounds like you're really picking up. Just a bit of backstory. So Savannah sort of was used to she used to do the business sort of part time, but she's been able to take it full time, and she's really grown the business. Now she's hiring, so she's absolutely smashing it. And yeah, last year we was doing a lot of advertising. This year not so much. We're doing a little bit now, but it's a bit more of a hands off approach where sort of Savannah gets the leads, deals with the leads, books the appointments. But sort of my main question, Savannah, is sort of how has your experience been with me? What was the situation sort of coming into it? What were the concerns and stuff, and sort of how did we get over all of those things and make it successful for you?
But I think the main reason that I started doing it was because I was working at another job, but this was my business, so I knew that I needed to change something.
Hmm.
Uh, Obviously, it's very hard just to bring in work nowadays. Like you can't do your leaflets; that stuff just doesn't work. It's not there. Um, so I'd kind of reached out to a few marketing people. A few had reached out to me, but there was no one that was really like a lot of people were just sitting on beaches, which is fine, great. But also, I had no idea who they were. They had no business name. They weren't registered and things like that. And I was
Yeah.
very aware, kind of handing over business information to somebody that didn't even have a like wasn't registered with the UK of working. Um, so it made me quite skeptical. And obviously, there's a lot of people coming on that were like, sign up for this and we can return this much money back. And I thought, you can't do that because it just didn't work. And these people wouldn't even show their faces. It was all very
Mm.
much online. Um, and it just didn't feel almost safe, if that made sense. Don't know if that's just me being old fashioned and that is the modern way, but to me, it just didn't feel like I was willing to hand over business information to somebody that wouldn't even show their face to me.
Mhm.
And then I came across your page. I can't remember where, if it was on Google search or Instagram. And I think the first question I asked you was, do you have like a company's house or registered with companies, something like that? Because there
Yeah.
was no coming across that was doing that. And if it was people, it was people that wanted like crazy, crazy money,
Mhm.
like big marketing agencies that just wasn't feasible for my business.
Mhm.
So I think at that point, I then was quite acceptable of doing like a meeting with you because I'd had meetings with other people, but just nothing was like I said, they wouldn't even show their face, or
Mhm.
it was just a phone call, and it almost sounded like spam. So that was already a great step. And then obviously I was still a bit cautious about, I don't know, I've not done this before. Like running ads is a very expensive cost. Is the return going to be there? And I think it kind of made me reassure that, we can run ads where I'm not just giving you my bank details, where a lot of people were actually wanting that. They
Mm.
were wanting to pay up front to them to run these ads. Whereas, with you, it's all connected through Meta, it's all connected through my banking. So you don't actually see the money
Oh.
that goes on to ads,
Mhm.
which gives me security in that way of keeping track. You also know that someone's not just going to run off with your money. So that already makes me feel safer, obviously, with working with you. Um, Sorry, I've gone off track now. I can't remember what the main question.
That's right. But yeah, I mean, it was just sort of how was the clinic for you? Sort of say let's say was it last January 2024 we started really picking things up.
Yeah, so I think I joined with you last January, wasn't it? So new year, new start, and I think it was actually towards the end of January. I think it was the last like 10 days of January, and yeah, by the time I got to the end of January, I was all ready to give up a second job, definitely. And I think by the end of Feb, I was fully booked till like April, but still had a lot of bookings going into like May and June. So it wasn't hard to fill May and June up to be fully booked. So I didn't really need to constantly run ads then because I was basically the work was coming in naturally then. So yeah, I found that very effective. So yeah, for me, I think last year, yeah, I think we ran ads for 2 months like quite religiously, but it was my calendar was almost booked up by the end of June. So to me, that was amazing. This was for my full-time job. I think also I was doing like 12-hour days. Even if I was squeezing people in more, I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was long days. So it wasn't just like filling my calendar for 9 till 5. It was a 12-hour day that was being filled, which is pretty good. Um, which has managed to then help me actually bring somebody on for this year. So then I don't have to turn down work. There's somebody here, or I'm not falling behind with admin. Because that's a big one. Obviously, if you're working those many hours, you're falling behind with admin and you're probably missing these follow-ups or these leads yourself, or someone's coming for consultation with me. I need to kind of follow that up or chase them or just see how they're getting on. But I just didn't have the time to do that. So I was probably losing work in that sense, which is the main reason why I brought somebody on. So for me, running ads was definitely the best choice for me,
Nice.
100%.
And I've got a good question for you because I think it's a bit more specific to you because I do this for a lot of other clinics as well, but they're not necessarily always as successful as you are. Now, one thing can definitely be location, it can be what services you offer, but I think what you've done exceptionally well, and the reason why you're at this point is because you've been able to keep the clients that you got. You've been able to keep them, increase the amount of money that they're spending with you, and make sure that they're coming back regularly so that you have a consistent business. I haven't seen another business do it as well as you have. So I just wanted to see, because not everyone is gonna. This video is not for to get loads of clinics to come and sign up to me. This is actually to give them a bit of value. So what is your sort of secret, or what is your sort of system of how you've been able to keep people, just so we can help other clinics?
I think from what we tried with last year and something that I've definitely know that I probably have quite good skill with is like when last year you started doing the leads for me and chasing these people up, and that was working. But I think for some people, they want to know who they're going to have treatment with, who is
Hmm.
this, and they want to meet that person. And also because of what I do, it's body contouring. A lot of people are very self-conscious with stuff. And then it was very soon I realised actually, even though you're doing a great job, I need a female driven that as someone that knows the business really well, and also that they're going to have treatment with, which is the main reason. Again, this is why now Olivia's joining us to do that. So I think that's already like a personal thing for somebody because if you're answering the phone and it's a guy, they might think, "Is this guy going to do my treatment?" It's just not what they want. And also they're also thinking if this person doesn't know that much about the business or about the treatments, it's just not great. Do you know what I mean? They need to know really what they are doing 100%. So for me, that was a learning curve. And I think from doing that, like, which is why I was trying to take it on myself, which why it was too much. But that personally, given that that personal trust is a big thing. If you have anyone just like ringing these people, just trying to get them to come in and explain the treatment, but they don't really know what that treatment is and follow, they're not qualified, they're not trained, you're not going to sell what you are doing because you're not going to sell it properly. You don't know, you don't really know what you're selling. So that's one of the main things. But then also going forward, I think the reason that I do manage to keep people and just feedback I get from people is that they like the fact that they come in and have a consultation and meet with me. I'm very skeptical of people just signing up without them having a consultation or making sure that they understand what the treatment fully is and what they're going to get out of it. So it's all good. People can say, "Oh, just sign up, pay for it, great." But if this person one can't even have the treatment, that's an issue that you're going to have to deal with, or you're probably going to do a treatment on somebody that it isn't a safe treatment to do on them. And again, that doesn't make people feel safe in your hands. So that's another reason. So I think we had the issue with, again, like people were booking in, but then I was like, I actually haven't got them to do consultation forms, and there's no point in them booking in unless they have. So then you created me some forms. So now that's basically people fill that out before booking. Or they come and see me face to face before booking because that is the best thing to do. So I think the reason why I'm keeping the clients is because for one, they're liking the experience of coming in, speaking to somebody, and actually understanding what they're actually really getting before signing up. Whereas I've heard from a lot of people in my local area that they don't even do that. They're not doing consultation forms. they're not even like assessing their body correctly, or they're selling them something that they don't need or don't even know what they're having. I have a lot of people come to me and said, "Oh, I had this, but I don't know what it was. I don't know what it did," and I find that a bit concerning. So for me, I don't like anyone coming through my door that doesn't know exactly what they're having.
Hmm. That's a really good point because a lot of the, especially when I onboard new clients and stuff, we do clash about that they basically want bookings up front to be paid, and I think that there's a caveat to that because even if you do get paid up front bookings, you're booking on they're booking on something they're not qualified to know if it actually works for them, and then you're taking their money out of their impulse. They're going to come in for one session, not get the results that they're expecting, and utterly just leave dissatisfied. So you might get a tiny bit of money in like the first month, but it's not going to be feasible and it's not going to be something that gives you good returning customers. You're just feeding on sort of people's impulses at the time. They'll come in for like one session, their expectations are going to be warped, and I think that would ruin your reputation as well. So it's good that you mentioned that, and hopefully some clinics that watch this, if they do, can actually just sort of take that as a mental note on how to sort of get their clients in, just set the expectations and stuff. But yeah, I mean, my last question for you, Savannah, is just sort of what's your overall plan for the clinic within sort of the next this year, for example? What's the vision?
So for me, it's obviously getting Olivia trained to absolutely the very best. Which, to be fair, she's already getting there. With body contouring, it's a very controversial thing where you can do a day course and you can just start doing it. And that's basically what all the training is anywhere you go in the UK. So for me, I have a lot of years experience, I have a lot of time, I've had a lot of clients, and I know what I'm doing. I'm very confident with knowing what I'm doing. And for her to be coming into my business and doing my clients, I want her to be the exact same. So for me, it's making sure that she absolutely knows 100% what she's doing with anybody. So it's actually investing my time into doing that. Um, that's the main one. And also just having time for me to really have a yearly plan of what I'm doing with my marketing, what I'm doing each month. That is a big thing that I've not been able to do because I've not had time to do, but it is crucial. I know I need to do it. So that's another thing just to give me time to do that. We are hoping to bring future treatments in, but at the moment we are working full time, just doing
Yeah.
body contour. So it's one of those things, a lot of people dabble into so much different stuff, but then you start to lose your niche of what you do.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure what exactly that's going to be, but it's going to be something that's quite similar. So we're looking at now like massage treatments, wood therapy that you go along with the treatment.
Yeah.
So it's working that out, or it's more in the winter times. Everyone knows that body contouring does go quiet because it is very much a summer treatment or an occasional treatment. So winter naturally does go quieter. It's only really the people that tend to be getting married or going away in the winter, which actually is becoming more frequent. But
Mhm.
it's still, you haven't got your 4 hours there, which isn't an awful thing because it means you actually get a bit of time off and you're not working, I don't know, like 60, 70 hours a week. So that's nice. But also it's like just that consistency that I have got Olivia here now. So it's also supplying work for us both
Mhm.
as well. So we're still thinking of introducing new treatments, but at the same time, that isn't something we're going to do for a while because we just don't need to because we're so busy with this.
Mhm. Nice. Well, thank you for your time, Savannah. It's been great to sort of get a bit of feedback on sort of how things have been.